morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're Harshita?
Yes, sir.
Harshita, you're comfortable in English?
Yes, sir.
Will that be your preferred medium for interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Harshita, you must have noticed that when it comes to COVID, we are taking adequate care. And that's why there's adequate distance between you and us so that you feel safe. Besides, we are wearing mask while we are not speaking. Same applies to you. If you're comfortable wearing mask and you believe that it's not creating any issue, you can wear mask. But if you believe that since there is adequate distance and you're feeling safe, and sometimes mask creates this fogging on the specs, so you can even remove mask.
Sir, can I
Would you
remove?
like to?
Yes,
Please
sir.
do. Okay. You're comfortable? And also you're not, you yourself, you're not showing any symptoms, right?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay, Harshita, then probably we can start. To begin with, I want you to introduce yourself to the board members in a manner that your identity, your caste, your community, these things are not indicated, and still we come to know something about you.
Sir, my name is Harshita. I am from Varanasi, UP. I have completed my 10th and 12th from Central Hindu Girls School, Varanasi, CBSE board. And then I went on to become a medical graduate from Neelratan Sarkar Medical College, Kolkata. And I have done 1 year of compulsory internship in the same college in Kolkata. And since then I have been preparing for UPSC.
You did your this medical sciences, your MBBS in 2016, effectively in 2017 actually.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Then rather than taking call of your profession, of your education, why are you here?
Sir, I have always wanted to be in administration, and this drive become more important, more stronger during my internship days. So that's why I decided to come into administration, like
this is
as a full
despite
job.
the fact that currently the entire world is reeling under this pandemic. Medical professionals, they should actually be hearing the conscience. They should actually be rushing to the field, working for the public. This administration thing can any petty BA pass student graduate can take.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm quite aware of that. And sir, while preparing, there was a charitable hospital near in my locality in Karol Bagh. So sometimes on and off, I used to go there and work there. So, but like there was no as such designation, so that's why I could not write it there.
Anyways, you have taken medical sciences as your optional paper as well. Tell me, we have seen recently a kind of a competition between different vaccines as far as COVID is concerned. Can you tell me why this competing attitude of the vaccines is there, and technically speaking, how these vaccines are different?
Sir, if it is seen from the medical background, then there are basically 2 kind of vaccines. One is live attenuated vaccine and one is inactivated vaccine. So for example, in COVID case, so Covaxin is inactivated vaccine, while Covishield, which we are getting from Serum Institute of India, is a live attenuated vaccine. Sir, so in case of live attenuated vaccine, the virus has been weakened. So like there are high chances of showing adverse events following vaccination in live vaccine. Sir, so like there is a competition for market first of all, and also like showing that there is less adverse effect spectrum in dead vaccine. So like basically for the market capture, and sir also like there has been link ups like developed by the public sector or private sector. So vaccine nationalism is also a issue. So like each country is competing to launch its own vaccine in the global market, and also as we know that vaccine is a global common good. Sir, so like to enhance the global level of any country, to increase its soft power, every country is targeting and competing for the vaccine.
If we stay in this part, the vaccine nationalism and in the way the vaccine diplomacy is in action, What do you believe is the role of India being one of the largest vaccine producer but has a very large population of its own? Do you believe that India too can play this vaccine diplomacy, or is it already playing?
Sir, I think it has already started exporting vaccine to the neighboring countries like Maldives, Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh, and there are also some arrangements going to Brazil also. So yes, I think we have, I think we have assured the vaccine diplomacy in our broad spectrum medical diplomacy, which we have been like utilizing since last few years. Thank you, sir.
So as you have told, Sir Chairperson, you have experience of surgery. As a surgeon, you did work, right?
Sir, actually, I am only undergraduate. MBBS.
Yes, I could understand, right? And look, the very important surgery is what called laparoscopic surgery. So, what is the important feature of laparoscopic surgery?
Sir, it's a daycare surgery. It's a modern daycare surgery in which the system is not open, but we use ports and the laparoscopic ports through which, like sometimes 4 or 3, depending on the type of surgery, we ports through small incisions in our anterior abdomen.
Which part of body is ideal for laparoscopic surgery? In which disease you are actually advise for such surgery?
Sir, we can say any general surgery or gastrointestinal surgery, especially, sir, gallbladder surgery.
What is the use of what robotics is laparoscopic surgery? Robotics.
So
as we use what for brain surgery, we use what actually robot, right?
Sir.
So what is the purpose? What is the actually recent phenomenon of robotics in surgery in general, laparoscopic surgery in particular?
Sir, robotics in general surgery has been like if there is a surgery performed in Delhi and we need some kind of instructions from outside the country, sir, in that case, like robotics are implied, and sir, like through instructions they can perform, especially the
look, MBBS doctor has to read and what actually educated in psychological disorder, too, particularly schizophrenia, right, and what psychosis. That is also part of your syllabus. So why medical sciences student actually is advised to know such a disorder? How physiologically you are going to cure schizophrenia and psychosis?
Whenever we see the concept of health, it is a very dynamic concept, and we include all, it's a very encompassing term, and we include all physical, emotional, mental as well as the social well-being of an individual. So, sir, in that perspective, sir, mental health comes to very important role play, and as you have asked, in the physiological manifestations, sir, mental disease can enhance the general physical.
Is there any actually generic medicine for schizophrenia, patient of schizophrenia?
Yes, sir.
What is the generic medicine of schizophrenia?
Schizophrenia, sir, it's usually, sir, SSRIs are given.
Name what any generic or what branded. If you don't know generic,
Sir, I'm aware of generic. Amphetamines.
What is the drugs? What is the salt of amphetamines?
Amphetamines, sir, sir, I'm not aware of the salt.
Don't know salt. Okay. My next question is what India having its national health policy. What is the aims and objective of national health policy of India, and how it is actually effective in Uttar Pradesh for prevention as well as for curation?
Sir, recently we have implemented National Health Policy 2017, and its broad objectives has been to enhance both the primary health as well as the secondary health, and with the objective of the wellness, the main two pillars are the establishment of the health and wellness centers in the country, around 1.5 lakhs.
Uttar Pradesh. My emphasis is Uttar Pradesh. How This national health policy is important for prevention and curation of disease of Uttar Pradesh. Look, Uttar Pradesh is generally suffering from what viral and bacterial disease because of climatic condition. So how it is important?
Sir, in the case of UP, there has the referral system, the primary health care centers and the community health care centers and the sub centers. The referral system, the linkage between these referral systems is weak. So we need to focus on those areas.
Thank you.
Harshita, you tell me, this debate and deliberation is considered to be the cornerstone of effective functioning of any democratic system. In Parliament, we have a system of question hour, fine, through which we just make the debate and deliberations more informed and more participative. There are three types of questions which are asked during question hour. One is a start question, another unstarred question, and short notice question. Can you differentiate between the three terms?
Sir, in case of start question, oral answer is required.
Are you sure about this?
No, sir. Sir, written answer is required.
Okay.
Sir, that's why any following questions, any question it cannot follow in start question, and unstart.
Okay, supplementary questions
cannot follow.
Okay.
And in case of unstart question, sir, oral answer is okay.
Harshita, this is other way around. You were right when you were saying exactly at the start. What does start question mean? Fine. And what is this short notice question?
Short notice, sir. I think the prior 10 days notice is required to give before asking that question.
Why there is a system of 0 hour? What is the importance of 0 hour?
Sir, 0 hour follows the question hour, and in 0 hour the agenda of the day is taken up.
In 0 hour, agenda of the day is taken up. Are you sure about this, or you are making a wild guess?
No, sir, I'm sure.
You're sure about this? In 0 hour, generally any member can ask question of either national importance or of regional value. Fine. So you were wrong while taking a guess. Okay, let's move to some other question. When we say कि मैं हिंदी का एक सेंटेंस आपको बताता हूँ कि आप महिला होने के बावजूद इतनी अच्छी प्रशासक बनी, ये आपकी उपलब्धि है. इस पूरे टर्म से आप किस तरह का सेंस गैदर करती हैं?
सर, इसमें मैं जो एक सामाजिक, सर इसका एक वो है कि हम एक पुरुष प्रधान समाज में महिला को एक ऊपर के ओहदे पर नहीं देख पाते हैं, जो कि एक कमी है. सर, वो इसमें एक मुझे एक सामाजिक इसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट दिख रहा है कि महिला होने के बावजूद आप एक अच्छी वो हैं. सर, उस तरह से.
चलिए ठीक है, ये बताइए, यू जस्ट टेल मी, चाइना हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन अक्यूज्ड ऑफ बीइंग अ currency manipulator country. Can you please tell me what benefit does China derive out of being a currency manipulator?
Sir, it lowers down its exchange rate, and as a result of that, its exports become cheaper in international market, and it floods the markets of.
Okay, my supplementary question on this is, can you please explain the mechanism if any country lowers its currency value vis-a-vis dollar? How does it favorably impact its external trade? How does the export becomes cheaper?
Sir, because sir, for example, sir, against the US dollar, in terms of US dollar, the domestic currency becomes cheaper. Like for $1, if it earlier used to be 10 Chinese currency, and now it becomes 20. So in that case, sir, like we can buy more products in $1.
Okay, then?
So that's how the.
You did not give a very convincing reply to my question. Actually, I asked, how does it favorably impact the export?
So by making the export cheaper in the international market.
This was my question actually. How does the export becomes cheaper?
Sir, earlier in $1. Sir, only we can buy only one product, but now in $1 we can buy two products because in terms of Chinese currency, so the value has been lowered.
Thank you, Ms. Harshita. Sir, please.
Okay. Harshita, you're basically from Banaras, this you mentioned. You also mentioned that you studied from Kolkata. You have come to Allahabad for appearing this examination, this interview thing. And finally, one day you would like to be in Lucknow in the Secretariat. Please trace the colonialism, the flow of colonialism in these four countries, these four cities. You getting my point? Yeah.
Sir, as you know that Calcutta was one of the presidency towns in British India, and the foundation of British Empire started in Bengal only.
Okay, so Calcutta is the place from which it all originated. Then?
And also it was the capital
Then?
till 1905, and then it shifted to Delhi.
I want you to trace these four cities.
Sir, I can think of linking with Indian National Congress sessions,
Okay.
and capital only because Prayagraj was capital for a few days during British India times.
Okay.
And sir, as we are aware that three Indian National Congress held in Allahabad, in Prayagraj, and 1905 held in Varanasi under the Gopal Krishna Gokhale ji presidentship. And sir,
Name one feminist writer you have studied. You're comfortable about any feminist writer?
sir, Nivedita Menon.
You have studied Nivedita Menon?
Sir, her book, there is one book.
Okay. Tell me how Nivedita Menon, I mean, what are her major concerns?
So her major concern is the social construct, the patriarchy, and she also links that.
Can I take you back to the sentence sir just mentioned कि अगर आप एक महिला होने के बावजूद एक अच्छी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर बनी, can you deconstruct this sentence and open it for me that how a feminist will read the sentence?
Sir, a feminist will read it in a way that it's not very acceptable for a woman to reach such heights in patriarchal society, and she will not take it in a very positive way.
So it's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment.
Why is it not a compliment if it is being said that despite being women you are doing so well?
So because a feminist always argue for equal rights for men and women.
So underlying premise is unequal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine, Harshita, it was nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You can go now.
Thank you, sir.
Harshita, your interview is on 30th of January. Okay. What's your take? How was the interview? What are the areas you believe you did fine and where you believe that you can do a little better?
Sir, I think I need to brush on some economics topics and the basic polity as I fumbled up in question hour and in 0 hour. And sir, I think in current affairs I have to be like more, my arguments has to be more.
See, Harshita, you need to understand, you're a very, very good candidate. Your background is good. You're prepared. Your personality wise, you're good. Your walk-in is good. The way you present yourself is good. Though I do expect your entry to be more prominent. I mean, you need to very loud when you're entering, right? See, make a template in your mind that you'll enter, you'll greet from the gate. Okay, you'll ask for the permission, you greet from the gate, you'll come stand besides your chair, around, I mean, either on the left side or the right side, depending on the position in the room, and then greet members. Okay. And then expect you to be given permission or asked to sit down. If nobody says anything, then ask for the permission. And repeat this template a number of times in your mind, so that at that moment when it matters, you're able to follow it. Otherwise, what happens, a slight change there will make you wipe off everything and you end up in undecided position. That is one thing. You're a good candidate, as I said. Your entry, I mentioned what you can revise in. Sitting posture is good. Eye contact is good. Flow is good. There are two areas in communication where you can do slight changes. One is, sometime, at least in the initial part of the interview, there was a shakiness in your voice. Also little shakiness in your hand. That hand thing is obviously you'll be able to cover up. But this shakiness in your voice, it should be steady, right? Once it is steady, then the confidence level will also go up. Otherwise, board members will be able to trap you into saying, are you sure? And you'll say, oh no, I'm not sure. That kind of stuff. So put forward your arguments in a confident manner. And if you're not sure, don't put them at all, right? Then in that case, you can ask for a guess, okay, right? So that thing, so this little shake, and also there's little hand movement. Hand movement is something you can avoid, but if you believe that it is absolutely not working, then probably this last resort is clasping your hand. Trick. Otherwise, we generally advise you to place your hand like this and just leave it there, right? So these are the communication thing. Otherwise, generally things are good. Personality, as I said, it's good. Medical sciences, since you're a medical student, it's going to be a major portion of your interview in any case, right? Also because of the COVID thing and all. Be prepared for not just for the theoretical and technical answers that may be asked, but also in the answer in the realms of policy or sometimes presence of mind. Okay, analyze this place or tell us something from the COVID perspective or from the pandemic thing, and also on the pandemic data and all. I'm sure you are preparing for that, right? These things you can work. Suggestions. One is you can improve your listening a bit. Communication is not just about speaking or expression. It is a lot of it is about pauses and listening, and you can structure your answer before you start your answer, right? If you can work, listening is not just about hearing. Obviously, you understand that it has a lot to do with reaching to the core intent of the board member, right? If you're able to do it, then you'll be hitting that thing in the first sentence or maybe in the second sentence, and that's done. Right? So that is, these are a few suggestions you can make, but even without these suggestions, you're doing really, really good. I'm sure you'll do a lot better. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.